Bum 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 bum. What is up? What's up, y'all? Philyfli show, checking in here, kicking in at Right Way Production Studios, chilling here, looking at last week. I'm gonna do a little clap, baby, man. Great way to kick off the year. Good card, not as bad as it honestly looked on paper. It was one of those cards where I was like, you can watch it on your phone and it'll be cool, but I watched it on my phone and I regret watching or missing the main event, but I also was watching football. Big weekend last weekend, and what a way for the Philyfli show to kick off its year. This year, obviously, I want to bring a better winning percentage. Like I said, last year was almost 61%. It was like 60.8. So I say almost 61%, which is amazing. And we kicked it off with 80% last week in winnings. I hit on a parlay for you, and one parlay missed because Giga Chikaze, got beat by Kelvin Cater. And obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about that and get into that, but I'm not going to jump into that late. A lot of times, my little podcast gets a little offbeat here, and I go straight into the main event. We're not going to go into that. We're just going to jump into last week. Match leg number 10 was TJ Brown versus Charles Rosa. And let me get my phone pulled up here so I can say this correctly. That did go the distance. Unanimous decision for TJ. Got that one right. Brian Keller, Kevin Kroom went the distance too. Brian Keller got the win, but it wasn't as convincing as I thought it was going to be. So still a unanimous decision for him. Then we go to the Court McGee, Ramiz Bahima, and got that one right. So that was the first underdog pick of the night win. And then Jamie Pickett also got a unanimous decision over Joseph Holmes, but that fight was a little closer than I thought it was going to be. But Jamie Pickett did get the win, so that's another upset pick. And then the first wrong pick of the night, Bill Algeo got a unanimous decision over Brito. And then a fight I fell asleep to right before, not because the fight was boring, but fell asleep and got to miss this. I still have not seen the highlight, but I might click on it here in a little bit and watch it. Not while I'm doing the show, though, but Borshishev got the KO finish, and so I got that one right. Caitlin Chikayan got a win, and I got that one right, and it's very unfortunate. She might not be with the UFC anymore. That is very, very, very unfortunate. Yes, there is no news this week on the Philyfli show either. Sorry, guys. Did not want to get into the news part. Had a lot of research to do anyways, and a little bit short on time this week. Next, we got Brandon Vell versus Rogero Borton, and we got a split decision for Vell. That was a good fight, back and forth, so very good to see there. Borton is still going to be a competitor, even though he lost to Brandon Vell. But man, that dude almost got a title shot, so he's up and coming there. And then Jake Collier versus Chase Sherman was a submission, which, there's only two finishes on the night, which was the submission by Jake Collier and then the Borshishev knockout. So even though with that, it was still a little competitive back and forth. And then we jump into the Kelvin Cater winning unanimous decision over Giga Chikaze. Okay. Cater's game plan was very, very, very impressive. By impressive, what I mean is he straight pressured forward and did not care if he was going to take shots from Giga, which Giga did get a couple kicks on him, but he just kept walking forward, which eliminated as many kicks as Giga could throw. Yeah, he could throw one, but if you watch in a lot of his fights, he just can throw consecutive because he keeps you at distance and you can't, overcome it. Now, one of the big things that I saw with that fight, look how much Calvin has learned from the Max Holloway fight. Before the Max Holloway fight, nobody would have known that he could take such brutality. So when I heard that he was fighting Giga, I was like, that's a bad matchup for Giga, but my money would still be on him just because of that kick. But Calvin's so tough, he can just walk through all those, and it's going to be it's very unsettling to see that because Calvin needs to learn some some power shot or something to take people out, because if he could fight that fight like he did against Max and then fight the fight like he did against Giga, if he added any severe power shots to his arsenal, oof, it would be nighty-night for most people, and even Volkanovski, I think, would have a really tough matchup. If you all didn't see, also, Volkanovski did get a new opponent in the Korean Zombie. So that's going to be a fun fight. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but hey, it's the featherweight division. That thing's stacked. Max is literally waiting for the right time to come back. I'm glad he didn't fight yet, because I'd like to see him take time off and get back at it. All right, so the first parlay with McGee, Borshev, and Chikaze did not hit, obviously, because Chikaze failed. But the other one did hit and would bring you some money, because that was Chikagan, Pickett, and Collier. Let's just say you put $100 down on there, dude. You're walking. You made some money off. I made you some money, just like I always do. I like to make everybody that money. $100 guy got McGee, so you got $100 in your pocket and you get to spend for free. Damn it. Okay, yeah, don't listen to me try to rap. But anyways, that was a good hit there. And then all your cash, if you listen to me on Brian Keller, each $300 you put down brought back $100. So hopefully put down, $1,200, $1,500 and got like $500 back. All right. So that was last week. This week's episodes are gonna be really small. We got 13 fights on here. I got a parlay. Actually, I got 2 parlays. I forgot. And then I got $100 guy, and all your cash is going to be on this week. There also is another NFL edition week. I didn't do as good as I wanted to, but there's a lot of picks, and that was my first time going through prop bets. So I'm not going to talk about the NFL show. I just gave a little peek into it, because some people were asking me if I was even going to do it. So yeah, UFC Philyfli show, pay-per-view 270, Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane for the main event, and the co-main event is also a title shot with Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo. Rematch number 3, first ever rematch, back-to-back fight ever in the UFC. No other trilogy has ever gone back to back. Okay, so we will jump into it. If you haven't looked at it yet, you are going to see something very shocking in the odds. I'm not going to say them yet. I mean, if you already looked, you're going to know what I'm talking about. Sorry for the little peek ahead, but I want people to, it's called Don't Bury the Lead, my man. Kay Hansen versus Jasmine Yarukasis. Man, she's got a hard name to say. But anyways, they kick off the night in the flyweight division. Kay Hansen got a couple fights in the UFC, whereas Jasmine's making her UFC debut. She was on Dana White Contender Series, but hey, making that UFC debut against a very, very tough opponent. Kay Hansen will be a -230 favorite, whereas Jasmine is a +190 underdog. I'm going Kay Hansen all day, and that is a 4 out of 5 on confidence, so get that on your bet slips if you're doing some parlays. All right, match leg number 12. We got Matt Furlola versus Gennaro Valdez. And Valdez is an undefeated fighter making his UFC debut. Tough fight, but the last guy to make his UFC debut knocked out Furlola in literally 7 seconds. So I expect to see him bounce back. Furlola -190 favorite, whereas Geraldo Valdez is a +160 underdog. That is a lightweight fight. I'm going Furlola, but that is a risk. I'm 2 out of 5 on my confidence level there. I'd stay away from that fight on betting odds because I don't know what Furlola is going to show up. Match leg number 11 is Silvana Gomez Juarez, long name, versus Vanessa Demopoulos. And that is a strawweight fight. I think both these girls are making their UFC debuts. Juarez is a +120 underdog, whereas Vanessa is a -140 favorite. I'm going Vanessa, but that's a 1 out of 5 on confidence level. Looking stuff up on both these girls. They're both competitive girls, so this is going to be a really competitive matchup for good UFC debuts for these women. All right, match leg number 10, and fresh meat's always great in the UFC. Match leg number 10 is Tony Gravely versus Simon Oliveira. Gravely is a negative 240 favorite, whereas Oliveira is a plus 200 underdog. That is a bantamweight fight, and I'm going Gravely with the win there. Pretty confident on that one. Not really. It's actually a 2 out of 5 on my confidence there. Not really confident, but on the betting odds, it looks pretty confident for Gravely, but I still think this will be a little bit of a closer fight. Match leg number 9, we got two guys making UFC debuts. Jack Della Meldana versus Pete Rodriguez. Jack is a negative 340 favorite, whereas Pete is a plus 270 underdog. That is a welterweight fight. I'm going Jack with the win there, only because he looks like the more well-rounded fighter. He is 10-2, whereas Pete is 4-0. So more fights for Jack, so a little bit more experience. That's why I leaned on the 2 out of 5 on that one. Match like number 8, we got Morias versus Trevin Giles. And all right, guys. So here's the story with Trevin Giles, and it's me. He got 2 big wins on 2 fights that I bet big against him, so he really made me mad. And then when I betted for him his last fight, he lost. Okay, gonna bet for him because I'm not doubting this guy against a guy who's making his UFC debut, which is a lot of fights on here, which is kind of weird, but they had to pay big money for the heavyweights and the flyweights, so that's kind of why you're gonna see a little bit of not watered down, but more new UFC fighters so they can pay people less. That's just how it works. Trevin Giles is a plus 105 underdog, whereas Morias is a negative 125 favorite. Welterweight fight. Giles gets the win, 3 out of 5 on the confidence level there. We got match like 7, Reynoli Barcelos versus Victor Henry. Another guy making his UFC debut. Barcelos is a negative 490 favorite, whereas Victor is a plus 370 underdog. And this isn't even the most biggest. This isn't even the most favorite or upset underdog, okay? The next fight is that one. But this one is obviously going Barcelos for a win here. Dude's got a lot of experience, so for him to fight an up-and-comer, it's going to be very tough for them to get a win. 5 out of 5 on the confidence level. Barcelos gets the win. And the featured prelim bout is Ilia Topuria versus Charles Jourdain. Good fight. Charles Jourdain has pulled off some upsets where he has been a plus 200 before. I've seen it. I remember it. I got screwed by it, so that is why I'm talking about it. Here, though, Topuria is a negative 650 favorite, whereas Charles Jourdain is a plus 475 underdog. Man, do not bet against Topuria here. I'm sorry, Charles, but after what Topuria did to Ryan Hall but I'm pretty. No, that might have been somebody else, but no, Topuria was the one who fought Dan Ige, but yeah, I think it was Dan Ige. But Topuria is a great undefeated fighter who is gonna be a featherweight competitor in the next year for the title. Mark my words here on the Philyfli show. Negative 650 for Topuria, plus 475 for Charles Jourdain. Going Topuria all day, 5 out of 5 on my confidence level there. All right, we jump to the main card. A little bit of, like I said, not as big of names, but hey, it's the first pay-per-view of the year. They don't want to jump too far off. They got 2 title fights on here for us. So, Rodolfo Vernero versus Wellington Turman will kick off the night in the middleweight division. Vieira is a 220 favorite, whereas Wellington is a plus 180. Go Vieira all day. That dude's got power, and we've seen Wellington take some nasty shots and get put to sleep. So 4 out of 5 on my confidence level there for Vieira. Match link number 4, we got Cody Stamann versus Said Nurmagomedov in the bantamweight division. This is a good fight. If you don't know these fighters, the grappling game and the striking game are going to be on point with both these guys. Cody Stamann is a beast for the bantamweight division. He's ripped, whereas Said is just all around good MMA fighter. Negative 190 for Said, and then plus 160 underdog for Cody. I'm going Said to win with a 4 out of 5 confidence level there. Next, we got Michel Pereira versus Andre Fijiello. Welterweight fight. If you don't know who Michel Pereira is, that dude does some crazy walkout stuff, backflips on people, like weird jumping off the cage. Just unorthodox guy, so he's fun to watch. So that will be a fun fight to get down and unfold. Negative 280 for Michel Pereira and plus 230 underdog for Andre. Pereira gets the win, I think. But that's a 2 out of 5 confidence level there, just because the dude can gas himself up because he's so crazy. All right, so we jump into the co-main event of the evening, which is for the flyweight champion, which is a trilogy fight. First fight ended in a draw. Second fight ended in a win for Moreno. So literally, Moreno wins. Davison's got to pretty much move up to bantamweight, which we could also see Moreno do eventually too. They're both decent in size, so. But Moreno is a negative 175 favorite. Davison is a plus 150 underdog. Davison kind of upset me with his actions. Like, look, man, the first fight they were super friendly. It made it out what it is. It is what it is. The second fight with the push was weird. Like he was told to do that and get people to jump into the fight, and it ended badly for him. Got gassed too early and it got ended. And then this fight, though, he's coming out saying he's, got all this animosity toward Brandon, and it just seems fake and riled up like he's trying to get his head in the game. That doesn't look good for me. So I'm going Brandon Moreno all day. Even though Davison was my guy, is my guy, I just don't like his weird little actions that have happened. Anyways. On my confidence level that Brandon Moreno gets the job done and gets the W. That's 3 out of 5. I'd honestly go Brandon Moreno for a finish because that's kind of the way I see it. Davison's going to gas, trying to knock him out, or knock him out or gas, because that's exactly what Brandon made him do last time, and that's exactly what I think will happen this time again. If you would have told me that was the main event, I'd have been excited. I'd have been still spending my money, even though it's pay-per-views went up another $5. But oh well, that's not what we're here for. Not to complain about money. We still got one more fight. The main event of the evening, guys. We got Francis Ngannou, Ciryl Gane. Did you guys look at the odds? Ciryl Gane is a favorite, negative 155 in the betting odds. Okay, man. I get it, man. I get the dude is good. Dude's got amazing footwork. Light on the feet for a heavyweight. But we've seen this before. How did Francis win the title? I know Ciryl won the interim, but how did Francis win the title? Against a guy who was considered nimble on his feet. Came in at like 239 or 238 or something like that, so he was way lighter, fighting way faster, threw some good shots, but Francis still stayed calm and knocked Stipe out badly. Francis is a plus 130 underdog. If you are not jumping all over Francis with a win, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I know Ciryl can do it. I know he can. If it happens, I will not be surprised. But no one's done it yet. The only person to defeat Francis Ngannou, well, there's actually two technically when I think about it, but that fight doesn't, even though that was a fight and it counts and I get it, I don't like to count that fight because Francis was so young and so inexperienced, and yeah. So, obviously, Francis got a 5-round beatdown by Stipe. Stipe just wrestled the guy and gassed him out. It was pretty much anyone's game plan. Next fight, Derek Lewis and him stared each other in the face for however many rounds. I think that was only a 3-round fight, so that was weird. And then, Francis just went on that killer streak after that. So, do not... remember the Rosenstruck thing. That's my feeling going into this fight, is this could end up like the Rosenstruck. A buddy of mine said that the way the animosity is and the way Francis is talking on all stages, on everything, that is the way I see this fight going again. It might go a couple rounds, so it might not be like the 20-second Rosenstruck thing, but I just still see Francis getting a knockout win. So if you can get Francis on a knockout win, whatever, if you can just get it and a finish with him, not picking the round. I'm not going to pick the round. Francis with a win with that plus 130. Okay, guys. Parlays, which is everybody's favorite game. You got to throw some stuff down to get some extra money. Why not? Picking the single fights is also awesome. But hey, some of us want to win some more money and win some extra cash. All right, extra cash season. So first parlay, it is a 5-legger, so I am risking it, but there's 2 huge betting on favorites. I know that can end badly with things, but hey, it's just how it works. Let's do it up. K. Hansen with that negative 230 favorite to get the dub. Barcelos with that negative 490. Topuria with that negative 650. Rodolfo Vieira with a negative 220. And Saeed Nurmagomedov with a negative 190 favorite. That's a 5-legger. On a 3-legger, you will get Trevin Giles with plus 105. Then you get Moreno with negative 175. And Francis Ngannou with plus 130. The reason I go that route is obviously the 2 pluses, but it also adds up that crazy parlay to get you some extra money. $100 guy, I got you. Trevin Giles, bring you back $105. That is a risk though, but hey, you won $100 last week. Hopefully you pocketed it, and if you're a $100 guy and that's all you spend, you're not risking a lot of money. But I got you some money, so risk it this week to get another $100 in your pocket and show your friends who is king. Just kidding. You're just a low amateur better. Let's go. And then all your money go on Rodolfo Vernero. I do not believe that dude loses. He is not a 5 out of 5 on my favorite confidence level. But to put down $650 to win 100 or $490 to win 100, that's just a lot to risk. So I'm going Vernero there with all your cash because I'd rather you make some extra money. Alrighty. So the Philyfli Show is brought to you by Right Way Production Studios. Shout out to the 999. Thank you all. Again, it's been now over a full year for sure. Before it was 3 days before, but it was pretty much my 1 year show. Thank you for listening, anybody. Please tell your friends. Please tell your homies. And guess what? Let me go win you some money and listen to my show and subscribe. Peace out.